It's been a very long time since I've made a video on this channel, and that was intentional. Yeah, I was kind of coached to only concentrate on one channel, and this one drew the short stick. But I've also had friends say, "Oh my gosh, you should really talk about the way you live your life, the hacks you use to be on the road all the time, the digital nomad lifestyle," which is what Chillin' with Chip is all about. So now that it's Christmas 2025, I wanted to drop in and wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I've had a very successful year as a pet sitter and digital nomad this year. Haven't talked about, well, I don't even know that I was a pet sitter the last time I made a video on this channel. I probably was, yeah, because there were some about the chilling in the Berg and that kind of stuff. And I think I made one in Tennessee, but it's been a year or more maybe. But anyway, this year I finally got a sit at the beach for the summer. That was Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, which is across the harbor, the river. I guess it's the harbor. It is the harbor, but it's also where two rivers come together. Over the new Ravenel Bridge, which is beautiful, in a suburb called Mount Pleasant, which has Sullivan's Island Beach, Isle of Palm Beach, right there, Barrier Islands. I arrived there in June and I left near the end of September. And I don't remember exactly my schedule the rest of since then. I know I did a pet sit in Winchester, which is up here near Dad's. I'm at Dad's now for a week. Oh, yeah. No, I went back to Myrtle Beach before then. I've been spending lots of time in timeshare units, rental. They rent them, you don't have to buy them anymore. You can just rent them. So, anyway, I think I went a week to Williamsburg. I probably came up here to Dad's. Actually, Dad came to visit me in South Carolina. He dropped a friend off that lives in one of the other communities on this senior campus that also lived in the subdivision that I grew up in. Dropped her off to see her sister and brother-in-law, who neither of which are in very good health, and then came on down the rest of the way to, let's just say, Charleston to see me. We did some of the touristy stuff. A lot of it is documented on my Instagram page, which is now called Carnivore Chip. And then I think I came back up here for a few nights anyway. Then I went back to Williamsburg for 2 weeks, I think. And then I had accepted a pet sit in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for 2 weeks. So I rented, and I left in September. That was middle of October. And then I reserved 3 weeks in a resort timeshare rental condo place in Surfside Beach, which is North Myrtle is to the north, and Myrtle Beach, then Garden City Beach, I think, or Garden City, which has a beach. And then Surfside Beach is just below that. So it's right below Myrtle Beach. So I was able to, basically move my stuff over without ever leaving the pet sit because the lady was late getting in. So I stayed a little bit longer than I had planned. I mean, just the same day, but I'd already checked into the timeshare. So I didn't have to do like a late check-in or anything. And during that time, a friend from Canada that I've known virtually for many years was able to fly down, and I think she spent about 12 days. It was a very nice trip. We went out on a casino boat. We went to several different places, and she bought some shrimp caught fresh off the dock. I didn't think about that when I was down there this time, but I might have to go back over there. I'm actually going back to Myrtle Beach January the 10th, well, the 11th. I'm thinking I'm going to do a pet sit just down the road here from Dad. I'm afraid the lady has gotten sick because today is Tuesday night, and I was supposed to meet her last night, or I thought I was going to meet her. We hadn't confirmed it exactly. She said, "Why don't we do it the night of the 22nd or the 23rd?" And I said, "Yeah, that sounds good." So I didn't specifically say, "Let's do it the 22nd." But she sent me a message through the house sitting site as I was leaving Myrtle Beach Sunday to drive up here, which it's about a 9-hour drive, or takes me about 9 hours. Other people could do it in 7 or 8 probably, but I stop fairly frequently, about every, well, I think I did every 2 or 2.5 hours this time, but usually it's every hour. I don't like going quite that far in a day. It was 450 miles or so, and I allow 50 miles an hour, even though if possible, I go a lot faster than that. But anyway, I got up here and then I sent her a text through the app on the phone, or two actually. I said, "I'm at Dad's, here's my number if you want to reach out to my phone." No response, thinking I'm going to meet her last night. No response, no response today. Today's the 23rd. So, and the app will tell me, the computer won't tell me, but the app will tell me if she's even read the messages or not. So it's two Labrador retrievers, and it backs right up to a hiking, biking horse trail that I worked at when I was in college in the summers. So I'm familiar with the area, and I thought it'd be nice to be near Dad for a couple more weeks. But today I reserved, that would end the 11th, but I was able to get a condo timeshare, 2-bedroom unit, same one as like I had before. With the third bedroom is a lockout unit, which I didn't want, because if they put people in there, those two connecting doors are, they might as well not even be there. You can hear everything. You hear every pot and pan they clank every time they fart or whatever they do over there. You hear it like they're in your bedroom. Well, it's not the bedroom, it's the living room and the kitchen. So I can go in the bedroom and hear a lot less. But I had hoped to be able to reserve one of the loft units, but they didn't have 5 weeks in a row. So I'll be back at Myrtle Beach I'll get there on the 11th if this lady accepts me. If she doesn't, or I don't hear from her, I will go to Williamsburg from the 3rd to the 10th. So I'll be here with Dad till the 3rd. Then I'll be in Williamsburg till the 10th, and then I'll go down there on the 10th. If she doesn't accept me, if she does accept me, I won't go down there till the 11th, and I will stay until Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2026. And then I come back up here for 3 nights, I guess, 14, 15, 16, 4 nights. And I'm back in Winchester till the 18th, and then I have 9 nights off. Then I do a 10-week dog sit in Central Tennessee. And I'm actually thinking of going to Texas after that. A former tenant of mine has bought an RV that they don't use, but it is parked on his property. He's like, "Yeah, you can come down and live in it anytime you want." So I'm considering going back and kind of setting that up as a home base in Texas, and Dad's will be my home base in Virginia. And then I can do house sits in and around Texas from the RV, and I'll have that to use if I don't want to rent a timeshare, which there are not a whole lot of them in Texas. Austin has one or two, one outside of Austin, one in Austin. Who wants to be downtown Austin, though, in a vacation rental? I don't. And then Rio Doce, New Mexico is probably Branson's probably the closest one that I would go to. That's about an 8-hour drive also. But anyway, I could just use the RV as my gap housing when I don't have a pet sit. But I'm honestly getting a little tired of moving every couple of weeks. Hence, you saw the 5-week stay at the resort, 10 weeks in Tennessee. So 2026 is filling up nicely, especially, well, the only thing I have open right now is the first 10 days, and then 9 days between, well, then 4 days from February 14th to the 18th. Then I have March 9th, no, 4th, I think, to the 11th or the 12th. Anyway, there's like 9 days between when the one in Winchester ends and the one in Tennessee starts. So I'll probably stay with Dad a couple of nights, and then I'll rent a week, maybe in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. But there's not a unit that I like available yet. But of course, that's not till March. That's 3 months down the road. So anyway, I've done a lot of traveling this year. I had a lot of time at the beach. I guess 6 weeks at Myrtle Beach area, the Myrtle Beach area. Uh, and I think it was 12 or 14 weeks in the Charleston area. That's like 20, 22 weeks, maybe 24 weeks. That's pretty darn close to 6 months. So that is success for me. And I'm keeping my cost down. Of course, they've had a sale on these rental units. So I've been able to get them cheaper than I could rent a room in somebody's house and still have to share the washing machine, the kitchen, the parking lot, the garage, whatever. Here I have a whole unit, a 2-bedroom unit, my own kitchen, my own washer dryer, probably two or three bathrooms, depending on what unit I'm in, and nobody to share with. So yeah, I'll pay the same price or a few dollars more than a month's rental in a shared house. Because that's one reason I do pet sitting is I like to be by myself. And I hope to really develop my new school community, which I have a carnivore without the crazy school community. And I'm also working on my carnivore-ish chip YouTube channel. That's probably long enough in an update, but I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. This is going up on Christmas Eve. Thank you for joining me. You probably aren't subscribers because I've kind of neglected this channel on purpose, and it may go back to being neglected. I don't know, but I just felt like it was time to update my U.S. domestic digital nomad journey that I've been on the last 3 years. Thanks. God bless. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if you don't see me before then. Thanks. Bye-bye.